Katherine Black Reacts, part 11. We saw a bull at the farm. There was actually a real live bull at Butler's farm. Never seen that before. So we're doing these flashbacks. We're doing flashbacks to the human trafficking, the drugs, the prostitution, Ray, Celia, all that rubbish. And to be honest, I am just bored to the back teeth of it. I don't care who killed Ray. I don't care who killed Celia. I don't even care if Celia's dead. I don't care where the people just puffed off to. And I don't really care if Bear's dead either. It's just dragging on too long. So we're going back to the 2nd of January in flashback to the time it all happened. So I'm going to go through it really quickly because I want to get to new stuff and get away from this storyline. So, 2nd of January, Ray tells Paddy that Bear's dead and he threatens Paddy. Paddy scuffles with him twice, once wasn't enough, and Ray says he'll kill Eve if Paddy goes to the police or does anything. Ross breaks into Butler's farm. He also wants to go after Ray and he steals the shotgun from the farm. We get a flashback to the squalor of Wiley's farm again and Bear's feet. Only this time it pans up and we see Bear's whole body. He looks dead. And Ray has told Paddy that he's dead and that Celia killed him. It's all coming down around Ray and we see him on the phone ordering fake ID and fake passport. This is all repetition because we've seen it several times now and it's just like a dirge. The story's dragging on. Paddy can't go to the police. Dylan asks, so Dylan and Paddy, and Dylan's saying we've got to go to the police. Paddy's saying I can't, he's threatening my family. And Dylan says to Paddy, what would Bear do if Bear was here? And Paddy says he'd fight. And Dylan says, well, there you go then. That's what we're going to do. Arthur has been skulking about following Ray. He comes up behind Ray. We've seen the altercation with them several times, but it's always stopped with Arthur picking up a rock. Arthur hits Ray over the head with the rock. He says, ouch, and he stands up. That's it. That's that done. Arthur, however, does take Ray's big red hold-all. Now, we've previously seen Laurel hiding the hold-all in one of the dustbins, you know, throwing the hold-all away in one of the dustbins. We actually now see Arthur taking it. So Arthur took the red bag. Ross and April, we've seen the scene several times with Marlon with the knife in his pocket, and we finally found out it was Marlon, not a young person. We saw April showing her hands to Ross with all the blood on them. Turns out it's April's blood, she just had a cut. So Ross has got April and she's dirty and dishevelled and she's been away for several days. This was when she went missing weeks and weeks ago, straight after Christmas. She shows him the blood, she's cut her hand, and we already know, because we've seen the scenes months ago, of Ray taking April to the woods to kill her after Serial said, kill April, get rid of the evidence. Ray couldn't do it and he told April to run. April ran and like Bear, she was within half a mile of home. She went and stayed in one of Moira's barns for a few days. But of course nobody found her, even though they brought live bulls and we've got live bulls in the barn now, which have apparently been there all the time, but we've never seen them before. Graham makes his appearance and he skulks up behind Ray, grabs him round the throat, strangles him and drags him into the church. They're into the church arguing. Ray hasn't got a clue who he is. Graham says he's going to kill him. And we cut to Joe wandering around the village like a little lost soul, and he hears Graham beating Ray up. Runs into the church, but of course Graham has escaped. Of course he has, even though there's probably no back way out of the church. There might be, who knows, fire exits, maybe there is, maybe there isn't. But he goes through the vestibule and he's gone. Arthur has the red bag. We've seen the big screaming fit half a dozen times with Laurel and Ray outside Laurel's house. Laurel comes in, Arthur squeezes past her, he's hiding something, he's got the bag. Laurel says, "That's Ray's bag, what are you doing with it?" She grabs it off him and she finds 2 huge packets of drugs. "Are you dealing drugs?" "No, I'm not, I swear I'm not. What are you doing with the bag?" "I took it because I thought it would stop him escaping." Laurel gives Arthur a real crack across the face and then apologises. Ray catches up with Dylan, beats Dylan up. Ray catches up with Paddy, beats Paddy up. Paddy and Dylan are at Paddy and Dylan's house, and who walks through the door? Who walks through the door? Who's been missing this whole time? Bear walks in, as though nothing's happened. Okay, he looks a bit down in the mouth and a bit dishevelled. But after all that, after being able to escape and walk into that house at any point, you know, we're led to assume that he's got dementia or he's confused and he doesn't know where he is. At any point, he could have walked back in that house. He does it now. He just walks in, sees Ray beating Paddy up, says, "Leave my son alone," grabs Ray and strangles him. We believe, at this point, that's where we're leaving it, and at this point we believe that it was Bear that killed Ray. Couldn't really give a damn anyway. I am so done with this storyline. I just want it to move on now. Thanks very much. Nice chat. I'll be back with part 12.